The E-Class has a long legacy here in India, selling across many generations, almost 60,000 units, over 30 years. Now, that is quite the heritage. It's been there for a long time. And they sure made us wait a very long time for this new generation. Yes, it's finally here. And why? Well, because we get the V214 and not the W214. The W214 is the global model. The V214 is the right-hand drive, long wheelbase. And that's why I was saying long so many times. Now, that means this is the car that follows on the success of the previous V213, also long wheelbase, that did so well and created quite a segment here in India. This one is longer than the 214 global model by 143 millimeters overall, and just the wheelbase 133 millimeters. You get a few cool little new features besides all the new styling, but that's something I've already showed you in the review I did of the W214. Please go down to the descriptor and watch that link, because you get to know a lot about the car in that. Things like the door handles that pop out and the soft touch doors that suck themselves in. Let's find out more. So I already showed you all those new design elements of the new E-Class in our exclusive review, but that was the regular wheelbase W214, as I said. The V214 is the plus-sized version that amps up interior luxury, and so exterior styling details are very much in line with the global car. Scroll down to the descriptor for a link to that video. If the EQS interior made you hyper, well, the E-Class interior will make you super. That's what they're calling this, a super screen, because it's not sort of one big unit. It has the same sort of a feel though, with three distinct parts: instrument cluster, huge central display, and the passenger screen, something that's really catching on in the premium and luxury car set. The E-Class has that for India as standard. The super screen setup, in fact, is standard. What does that mean? 12.3-inch passenger screen, 14.4-inch central touchscreen display, and then the virtual instrument cluster, which is again 12.3-inch. So it is nice, it's different. It certainly makes the car look really high-end and upmarket and kind of cool. In case you were missing the regular wheelbase car, well, you got a picture of that on that wallpaper as well, in a color that also looks pretty stunning. But before I start getting distracted by things like that, let me tell you more about what is actually in this system. The third generation of Mercedes-Benz's fantastic MBUX interface takes things up a notch. Enhanced graphics, new layout, but the very cool 3D option on the virtual instrument cluster has sadly been dropped from the India spec. Too bad, because that's something I really tripped on during my drive in Germany. So there's stuff like the huge sunroof, the open pore wood, leather, good quality materials, good fit and finish. These are things you expect. The little surprise, these really soft neck pillows, well, the S-Class started it a couple of generations ago. Mercedes is known for it. The last E-Class had it at the back. Now you get them in the front too. It doesn't mean you should fall asleep in the driver's seat though. It's very comfortable. Now, you do have a whole lot of different apps and features with the new MBUX that the car does bring to India. The detail of it, I've already told you in that other review. So if you want to know how they all work, please watch that video. But what I can tell you is that a lot of them have been brought into our spec. That's good news. So you get everything from, the different meeting apps like Zoom, etc., which means that there is, of course, that selfie camera, which has also been brought in. There I am. Hello. And the whole idea being that you can pull over and take these calls. So connectivity, apps, and then being able to add a lot more apps. All of that is here. What's also been brought in is the other new thing, which is routines, where the car starts to sort of work with you and predict some of your behavior and your habits. And so it'll prompt you, or maybe even do things if you set it like that, without you having to do it. So you could also have a routine like, maybe every week on a particular day you drive somewhere. So on that day, the car will know when you get into the car, it'll prompt you, hey, should I navigate you to, your boyfriend's house? Don't do that if you also have a husband who might be in the car at the same time. That could be a little awkward. But having said that, it's nice because it's new and the whole focus is on tech. Besides that, you do get, a few other cool little things which are new, like the 2-layer ambient lighting. And then, of course, there's wireless Apple CarPlay, connectivity to the smartphone, all those things you already know about. And of course, the virtual assistant. Hey Mercedes, how's it going?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, let's get to that comfortable rear of the cabin now. Alright, those sunshades aren't new, nor are these nice pillows, and nor is the chauffeur package, which means you can extend this seat all the way to the forward position, and of course then it collapses, and I'm not going to show you all that because it takes too long to happen, and this is supposed to be a short video. But the point is, ample space, huge amount of space, and you don't really need to even push this seat forward because really you're getting so much space to begin with. It is comfortable. The seats can recline all the way from 36 down to 26 degrees. So really a lot of different angles to be able to get the right kind of optimal comfort. There you go. I'm bringing this one back up again. The ambient light kind of goes behind you and kind of creates a nice surround. It's a little styling touch, but it's a nice one. And it makes the car seem bigger, even bigger. Sort of that split sunroof, and then you've got the wireless charger here. There's a greater focus to making the rear not just luxurious and comfortable, but also bringing some of that tech feel over here because you don't have the individual screens and things like that at the back anymore. Some of that stuff is optional. Climate control, again, you do have the screen here that lets you manipulate it on both sides. So you're not going to find anything in here that you feel is missing. The Burmester sound system with its massive amount of options, including the active speakers embedded in the front seat for that little extra vibration and experience. This car is fully loaded. And yes, in case you have not figured it out already, this is way more loaded and more luxurious and more comfortable than that recently introduced long wheelbase BMW 5 Series sedan. Makes you wonder what the Bavarians were thinking or drinking. But it also means that this car will likely be a lot pricier than its predecessor and the 5 Series. Powertrain options for India will stay predictable also. And frankly, that's good enough from the buyer's perspective. The market launch is expected towards the end of the year, which is when we'll have more details including the pricing.